And moments ago, Speaker Johnson wrapped up a meeting with Elon Musk as a budget deal is now hanging in the balance. And here with more on that meeting, Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. All right. So you actually had two meetings today. Let's start with the second one first. You met with Elon Musk. How did that go? And there are issues with the Senate bill and the House bill, and I want to talk about how we reconcile those differences.
Yeah, thanks, Sean. Thanks for having me. This is an exciting time for the country. There is so much going on. You gave a great recap of that in the monologue. It's a lot to keep up with. The president is moving so quickly, delivering on his promises. And here in the legislative branch of the government, we're going to do the same thing. Congress has taken the first big step. We passed that budget resolution last night. The Democrats and the media said it was impossible. We did it. And that is the first important step in delivering reconciliation, which is how we're going to present the America First agenda and check every box that President Trump, the campaign promises he made on the campaign trail, and that we did as well. Look, really important meetings today, as you noted. I met with Elon late last night, talking about the latest savings that he's finding, uncovering incredible amounts of fraud, waste, and abuse across the federal government, doing the job that Congress has been unable to do for decades because the bureaucrats were hiding the data. He's cracked the code, Sean. He's on the inside of the belly of the beast of the bureaucracy now with the algorithms crawling through the data. And as we talked about last night, he said, you know what? The data doesn't lie. And this is a very exciting time. The second meeting was with the president and the vice president and Leader Thune of the Senate and the White House. And we had a great discussion about the strategy and the steps ahead. There is no daylight between those three entities, the White House, the Senate, and the House. That's a great thing for the American people, and we are very excited to deliver on the agenda.
Let me ask some specifics about that meeting, and that's you, the vice president, the president, and Majority Leader Thune, who I think did a very good job of getting the president's cabinet choices through. But the Senate version currently does not include anything about taxes. The House version makes the Trump tax cuts permanent, but also is structured in such a way that it could trigger some Medicaid cuts, which some Republicans oppose. What you passed last night was a framework. In order to have budget reconciliation, it's a little tougher in the Senate. They have stringent requirements for it, and they have to pass the framework. Then it will go to conference. I assume that's what today's meeting was about, but then it will have to go back to the floor, but it does have to be the same bill. So with all that said, because it's a little bit Washingtonian probably for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Okay. You have the House version, the Senate version. There are differences. You have President Trump's agenda. Where is this going to end?
It's going to end in success. We are going to accomplish this mission, Sean. We have to, because the American people are counting on it. If we fail in this mission, everyone will see the largest tax increase in U.S. history at the end of this year when the Trump-era tax cuts expire. We have to extend them. We've got to get back to energy dominance. We've got to get the border secured. We have to cut the bureaucracy in the deep state and cut the regulations. All those things are going to happen in one big, beautiful bill, as President Trump has talked about and as we've said repeatedly. So what the House resolution last night did is it set up, as you said, the framework to achieve that goal, to go forward with that mission. We talked about it today in the White House, Leader Thune and I. There's no daylight between us on this mission. There's been a little disagreement about the best way to get there. But now that the House has passed the resolution, I think the Senate is going to take that up. They'll look at it. They may massage it a little bit, but I think we're going to come up with a product that is a framework that both chambers can work under. And that's going to be a very exciting development for the country. The next several weeks and through the month of March, the committees will then be working, as you said, to draft the technical details of that bill. And let me point out, this is very important. We are not going to cut Medicaid benefits for those beneficiaries. The president's been crystal clear about that. We have as well. He said we're not going to touch Social Security, Medicare, or Medicaid. What we're going to do, Sean, is find efficiencies, cut the fraud, waste, and abuse, and that's going to help the program stay solvent.
Okay, that's a very different issue if you're cutting waste, fraud, and abuse. When I interviewed the president and Elon, they were clear on Social Security and Medicaid. But your version makes the Trump tax cuts permanent. I think that's critical. Right. No tax on tips, no tax on Social Security. Will all of that make it into the final bill?
Yeah, that's the goal, and that's the plan, and that's what we're committed to doing. Making the tax cuts permanent is critical because business owners, small business owners, have to have stability. They've got to have certainty as they're making plans for the future, and this will be good for the economy. We believe we're going to usher in a pro-growth economy because we're going to do much of what we did during the first Trump administration. You remember, we had the greatest economy in the history of the world prior to COVID. Why? Because we cut taxes on individuals and businesses, small business owners. And we also cut regulations. And so you're going to see all that compacted into this one big, beautiful bill. That's going to be a great thing for the U.S. economy, for our security, for liberty, all the way across the board. And we're excited to deliver that. It's going to be a lot of hard work ahead. We've already begun that, and we're ready to deliver for the American people.
And you're talking about $4.5 trillion in tax cuts that will be permanent, which always ends up increasing revenues in spite of people predicting all the time that it will cut revenues to the government. That and energy dominance, I think, gets us a long way to where we need to go. Speaker Johnson, thank you. We appreciate it.